It is often said that God has not created anyone poor. Each of us is given something precious to live our lives. Sometimes we might feel we have less than we need, but life always provides a way forward. The problem is we often compare ourselves to others. If I have $10 and someone else has 100, I immediately think I'm poor and they're rich. We rarely stop to consider how hard someone worked for their wealth, what responsibilities they carry, or what sacrifices they made. We just see the number and judge. But true wealth, as Gautam Buddha once taught, is not measured in money. It lies in something much deeper. Let me share with you a story that reveals who is truly rich, and why Buddha said every person in this world is already wealthy. The king's invitation many centuries ago, a powerful king invited Buddha to his kingdom. The king wanted his people to learn the path of peace and righteousness, and he hoped Buddha could guide them. Buddha accepted. Along with his disciples, he journeyed to the capital. The news spread like wildfire. The enlightened one has come. People from all corners of the kingdom rushed to attend his 3-day teaching. The beggar at the crossroads now, in this same kingdom, lived a beggar. Every day he sat at a busy crossroads with his bowl, waiting for coins or scraps of food. When he heard that Buddha was coming, he laughed to himself, "Why should I go listen? If I stay here, I'll get more from people going to see him. Let them give me their money, their food. That's better than sitting in a crowd." And so, on the first day of Buddha's gathering, while thousands went to hear the teaching, the beggar stayed at the crossroads. True enough, the crowd was generous, and he collected more than usual. On the second day, the same thing happened. But he noticed something strange. People looked worried and burdened on their way to Buddha. Yet when they returned, their faces glowed with peace and joy. Some even gave him alms cheerfully. On the third day, fewer people passed his corner, and the beggar grew anxious. "If this continues, I'll starve," he thought. "Everyone goes to Buddha and forgets me." Finally, desperate, he decided, "I will go myself. Maybe Buddha has a solution for my poverty." The beggar meets Buddha that day. The lines were long. People waited for hours just to glimpse the teacher. At last, the beggar's turn came. He bowed deeply and said, "Lord, I have a question. Everyone here seems happy and wealthy, but look at me, I am poor, miserable, and hungry. Why has life made me this way?" Buddha looked at him kindly and replied, "You are poor because you only ask from others but never give. You sit at the crossroads, waiting for people to fill your bowl, but you never think of giving anything back. A man who only takes and never gives will always feel poor." The beggar frowned. "But Lord, what do I have to give? I own nothing. I survive only by begging. What could I possibly offer to others?" Buddha paused, then said gently, "You are mistaken. Every human being has something to give. You have a smile. Share it with those who are sad. You have a voice. Use it to speak kindly, to encourage, to comfort. You have hands. Help someone carry their load. And you have a body strong enough to work, to serve, to create. These gifts are far greater than gold or silver. God has already made you rich. But your poverty is in your mind, not your life. Change your thinking, and you will discover how wealthy you truly are." The awakening these words pierced the beggar's heart. For the first time, he realized that wealth was not about coins or possessions. It was about using what we already have to bring light into the lives of others. From that day on, he stopped sitting at the crossroads with his bowl. Instead, he worked with his hands. He smiled at strangers. He offered help whenever he could. Slowly, people began to respect him. They gave him opportunities, food, and friendship. In time, he was no longer a beggar, became a giver, and in that transformation, he found true richness. The lesson for us, my friends: how often do we make the same mistake? We look at someone with a bigger house, a better job, or a nicer car, and we call ourselves poor. We forget that we already carry treasures within us: health, kindness, talents, love. A billionaire lying in a hospital bed would trade all his wealth just for the healthy body you might already have. A lonely person in a mansion might envy the love you receive from your family. True wealth isn't about money. It's about gratitude, compassion, and the ability to give. Closing reflection: Buddha's message is clear. No one is born poor. We are all blessed with something to give. Poverty is not the absence of money, it is the absence of generosity, the absence of gratitude. If you learn to value your gifts and share them with others, you will never feel poor again. So, the next time you compare yourself to someone else, remember, God has already made you rich. The only question is, are you willing to see it?